Hello friends, welcome to the basics of options market. What is options? In my previous lecture, I had discussed about forward, futures, and now I'm going to discuss about what is options market. What is options? It is another part of derivatives. This is third instrument of derivative market. As we have discussed earlier, the business transactions are of two types. One is cash transactions on the spot, and one is promise market, which is derivatives market. In that, we had already done what is forward, what is futures, and now today I'm going to discuss about basics terminologies of options market. So what is options? Before starting with options, let me discuss about in forward market there was limitation of counterparty risk, that it is based on mutual trust. If counterparty denies to fulfill the obligation, you cannot avoid your risk. That limitation was removed in futures market. In futures, there is no counterparty risk because the contract are exchange traded contract. The lot size are fixed, the quantities are fixed, qualities are also fixed by exchange. So the counterparty risk has been removed, but there was upfront payment. You have to make some advance payment to the exchange. But again, in futures there was limitation. One party will be at profit, one party will be at loss. For example, in my previous lecture I had discussed example of cashew, and in forward market I had discussed example of house. So if we have decided to purchase any commodity at 100 rupees, the counterparty definitely will supply at 100 and the buyer will definitely buy at 100. But what if the price becomes less than 100? Buyer will be at loss because buyer has to purchase, seller will be at gain. But what if the price is more than 100, 105? So buyer will be at gain, seller will be at loss. So in futures contract, one party was at risk, one party was at gain. Now to avoid that, how the risk can be avoided? So options market has been introduced by the exchange. So let us see what is options market. Again, there are two parties to buy and sell specified commodity on a specified date at a predetermined price. This is basic meaning of options contract. But in case of futures, both have obligations. In options, one party is having right to exercise. That means if you want to purchase, he can purchase. If you does not want to purchase, he can deny. So one party is having right in the option and other party is having obligation in the options. So one party can avoid loss, but the counterparty, that is the party who is having right, is always known as a long option, long on call or long on put, and the party who is selling option is always known as a short option, short on call or short on put. So the option buyer need not to exercise the right if option buyer feels the option is not worthy. We'll discuss with a very good example in the further part of this slide. And if they do, the option writer need to obligation. So if buyer wants to buy or if buyer wants to sell, the counterparty will have to fulfill the obligation of the long in options. So let us understand the difference between futures and options. So in futures, both the parties in futures will take the place and specified future time and a specified price. In options also, again there are two parties will and exercise the right, will have to buy and will have to sell. But in futures, both have obligation, as I mentioned earlier. In options, one have freedom, one have obligation. Both in futures and options, they provide protection to hedger. So futures are also one kind of hedging, but you cannot avoid risk. Options is also one kind of hedging. You can avoid up to certain extent your risk. By using future, a hedger will lose the benefit. Yes, if I am farmer, if I want to sell, I will sell my cashew to the industrialist at 100 rupees. But at the time of selling, if in market, cash market, the price is 150, still I will get only 100 rupees, which I have decided with the counterparty. That is a limitation of future. Whereas in options, I can deny. If I don't want to sell, I will deny to the counterparty. That option is available. In futures, both the party must fulfill the obligation, and as I said in options, the only writer, the person who is selling option, will have to fulfill the obligation. The person who is buying option is always have freedom. And in futures, there is initial cash outflow which is paid by both the parties. Buyer will pay a premium to the exchange, seller will also pay a premium to the exchange. Whereas in options market, only option buyer will have to pay premium to the counterparty. So that means in options market, both the parties need not to make any initial cash outflow. Only the person who want right to exercise, only the person who want freedom in the option will have to pay premium to the counterparty. Let us discuss some terminologies, and after this I'll put some live market and I'll explain one by one the terminologies. Since in options market there are two party, option buyer, option seller. So option buyer is known as a long in options, he is having freedom, and option seller is known as a short in options, he is having obligation. So there are two kind of option, one is call option and one is put option. Call option is option to buy. If I am bullish on one share but I don't want to purchase today, I want to purchase in future, so I'll enter into long call option. I am buying the option to purchase. So maybe in future if I don't want to purchase, or maybe in future date the price of share has reduced, the stock has reduced, I may deny to exercise my right, and that is what it is called call option. Put option is right to sell. I have right. If I want to sell, I will sell, but if I do not want to sell, I may cancel my obligation, I may cancel my right. That is what put option is. As yes, you can see this on slide that there are options, there are two, one is long, one is call. So long call is option to buy, short call is obligation to sell. So there are two parties. If long call is having option, having freedom to purchase, the counterparty is known as a short call, is having obligation to sell. Similarly, long put is option to buy, option to sell, I want to sell. So if long put is option to sell, short put is obligation to purchase, the counterparty will have obligation. So if long put wants to sell, short put will have to purchase. Yes, a call option is right to buy but no obligation. There is no compulsion to buy. The reason why call buyer is having freedom, because if I am call buyer and you are call seller, I will pay premium to you per share. Maybe I'll pay 2 rupees, 5 rupees. We will see in later slide. I'll pay 2 rupees or 5 rupees. You have to wait for me. If I want to come, if I want to purchase, I'll come to you and I'll buy. So this 2, 5 or 4 rupees, whatever premium I'm paying, that premium is I'm paying for my exercise. If I do not want to buy, I may say I will not come and buy, you can keep my premium with you. So that is why the call option is having freedom, or option buyer is having freedom. The same thing happens with long put. I want to sell, but there is no compulsion of selling. So long put person is paying you premium to wait for me. I'll give you 5 rupees. After 1 month, if I wish, I'll come and I'll sell. But if I don't come, you can keep my 5 rupees. That is what long put is. That is what a put is having right but no obligation. If I wish, say for example, I have entered into contract with you to sell particular share at 100 rupees and I'm giving you 5 rupees as a premium for, this is called time value of money. You have to keep these 5 rupees, you have to wait me for 1 month. After a month, if market price of share between you and me is 110, I will not sell it to you, I'll sell it in market, and 5 rupees whatever I have given you as a premium, that is your gain. But reverse is also true. We had a contract of 100 rupees. If price become 80, then also I'll sell it to you at 100. You have to purchase, you cannot deny. So in that case, even though price of share is 80, I'll sell you at 100. My gain is 20. But 5 rupees I have already given you as premium. So 20 minus 5, my net gain is 15. That is what the put option is. Yes, As you can see this on the screen, this is SBI share. This is SBI, that is State Bank of India. And as you can see, 412.90 is a live market price, cash market price. Let's see what is options and what are the different terminologies. Number one is underlying asset. The security on which you are entering into contract is known as underlying asset. So in this case, SBI is underlying asset. That is what a circle symbol, as you can see. So SBI is your underlying asset. The next terminology is strike price, the price at which we are entering into contract. Call buyer or call seller is entering into contract is called strike price. So as you can see this in circle, this 410 is the strike price. So at this price, buyer wish to buy or long put, that means person who wants to sell wish to sell at 410. So this 410 is strike price, or it is also known as exercise price. The next term is exercise date. Generally last Thursday of the month, that is exercise price. So today, let's say it is 27th of May and today is last Thursday of May 2021. So today is exercise date. As you can see this in circle, exercise date is 27th May 2021, and tomorrow 28th May the new contract will start. So in options market, last Thursday of the month is generally exercise date. There are again two types. One is called American option and European option. In India, there is only European option. But what is meaning of American and European? American option means option buyer, option holder can exercise the option at any point of time before the maturity. So let us say my maturity is 25th June and today is 1st June. On any day, I can exercise my right. If I am buyer, I can buy at any point of time before 25th June. That is called American option. What is European option? The European option, the option buyer is having right to purchase only and only on last day of maturity. So if my maturity comes to 25th June, I can buy or sell depending upon my option only on last day. That is called European option. So as I said, in India there is only European option, and you can see this in circle, that is call option. This is a screen of call option. Right, so this is American and European. American, at any point of time you can exercise, and that is why the premium in American option is generally very high as compared to European option. And in European option, with the same strike price, the premium will be low as compared to American option because the risk is less. The option seller will have to fulfill the obligation only on last day. That is why the premium will be less. What is premium? The premium is the amount which option buyer will have to pay to option seller to wait. If I am long call, I want option to buy, so I have to pay counterparty some amount of money, and if I want to purchase, the counterparty will have to sell me. So you can see this on screen, 4 rupees 30 paisa, which is a premium which a person who is buying option, that is call option, will have to pay premium to the person who is ready to sell option. What does it mean? On expiry day, option buyer will buy the share and option seller will have to sell. So the seller will have to fulfill the obligation, and to fulfill the obligation, option seller will charge some premium, some time value of money for waiting of the option buyer, and that is called, it is known as option premium. This is what a small video of options basics, and for further like option strategies, I'll keep on uploading on my YouTube. You can visit my blogspot as it is there on your screen, and you can also visit my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.